Hi guys, I'm Shmi, and today I'm in Germany visiting ABT to take a look at their 430 horsepower Audi RS3. This is a true pocket rocket. Now, I went on Audi's press launch with the RS3 itself at Shelsley Walsh Hill Climb in the UK, and that was a seriously impressive machine. Very, very quick, a lot of fun, and very small, so you can actually drive it and make very good progression. And that's where the RS3 really comes into its own. You know, it's a 5-door car, plenty of space, lots of room for passengers and luggage, a fairly small car that's easy to drive, double clutch gearbox, S-tronic gearbox, and sort of doesn't stand out too much. So it's one of those kind of cars that's a bit of a sleeper almost. You're not sort of expecting it to be a particularly special and fast machine. Now then, you come to ABT, you take up the normal power that started at 367 horsepower, you give it 63 more, and you've got 430 horsepower in this car. Torque, likewise, goes up from 455 Newton meters up 70 odd to 530. So your 0 to 62 miles an hour, 100 kilometers an hour becomes 4.1 seconds. Everyday sort of driving gets an awful lot quicker. And I hear murmurs that there might be another stage coming on top of that, so things are going to get even quicker as well. From a visual point of view, this car doesn't have too much changed. It still sort of maintains most of the look of the normal Audi RS3. So you've got the sort of very aggressive front grille based on the S3 hatchback, or A3 hatchback, of course. You get a new ABT badge there, proudly displayed on that grille. But looking around, no changes to the aerodynamics or cosmetics, just new wheels, new ABT wheels on this car. New suspension as well, sitting lower, more sporty ride, bigger offset on the wheels, spacers. You can see, especially at the rear, they're sitting very aggressively out the side of the car, and that's to give it the wider track and extra performance that comes with that. One of the other big changes, the exhaust system, new muffler and these 102mm exhaust tips, finished in black. Very aggressive sound. We're going to hear that shortly as well, before we take it out for a drive. But all in all, it's basically that kind of sleeper, really fast but exciting to drive package. I'm looking forward to testing it, because driving the new RS3 was quite exciting as well. And from my experience, the cars ABT normally work on make for pretty good times. So let's start this up first and hear how it sounds. Right, let's jump in. ABT do a lot of work changing interiors, but this car's running a standard interior. There's the normal Audi key, RS badge, on the rear of it. Jump in, key in, and start it up. And it would be rude not to hear how it sounds. In the ABT RS3 then, 430 horsepower basically makes it one of the fastest sort of small hot hatches you could imagine, vastly superior to the standard car or the A45 or the M135i. There is a lot of power, and it still sits 5 people in a lot of comfort as well. So if that's what you're looking for, this is basically the best choice. Right now I'm in full sort of automatic settings, haven't changed anything. The drive select, which controls the steering, suspension, exhaust, gearbox response, that's all completely standard, haven't changed anything. We're in normal drive mode, and in this mode, from my experience so far, it's very smooth, very comfortable. The roads are nicely paved, but the suspension is lovely. The ride is not too firm in any way, shape or form. But what I need to do is press the button here, drive select, which you can cycle through the different modes. I'll put it in dynamic, where basically everything is in the sportiest mode it can be, and including the gearbox. It's immediately gone into a lower gear. You can hear more noise from the car, and probably if I find a straighter section when I can put my foot down, it really gets a move on. There is no question this is a quick car. Yep, yep, it'll do. And the way it does it is strange. There's just not too much drama. You just sort of look down, you're like, I'm going how fast? You can see I'm concentrating quite hard because I'm on some very tight, twisty roads right now. Oh, the acceleration feel uphill is wonderful. This is particularly similar to the test location that Audi took me to in Shelsley Walsh Hill Climb. Tight, twisty, the all-wheel drive really doing its thing. I've gone onto the manual paddles just to experience changing gears myself. In this car, it's really, really tight where I am right here. That was a good stretch of road. I'm going to turn around and head back down actually. So, in this mode, the suspension's firmer, still not desperately firm. It's perfectly comfortable. And all around the car is not too unpleasant in any way, shape or form, you know. 5 people can sit in here, you can do a long drive, you can be very comfortable about it. And then it's almost a sleeper, because when you're at the traffic lights and you accelerate away and you use the launch control of this car, you are gone. Everything around you pretty much left for dead in that first sort of instant off the line kind of range. And then it will keep going particularly quickly. This is a very fast machine. From a steering point of view, oh, I like that. Just quickly, the back crackle from the exhaust on liftoff, that was quite nice. See if I can force that. No, I have to wait and see it happen in a little bit. So, I was going to say the steering is pretty direct. On these kind of roads, doing the job fine. Kind of middle, I would say. Nothing desperately to write home for, except we're in a small hatchback, and actually when you consider that factor, this is pretty impressive. Trying to get the car to make some more exhaust noise. Oh, big vehicle coming towards me. There we go, that's the noise I'm after. You certainly feel the torque pulling you away. It's very, very quick away from the line like that. I suppose it would be fair though to try the other settings, and let's put it into comfort. You can see what mode you're in on this display in the middle here, along with other sort of usual nav kind of functions, and then you can turn that off and fold it away if you don't want to see it. But I do, so I'm going to leave that up. So comfort mode, a bit quieter, a bit more relaxed. I can feel the suspension's a bit softer, maybe even a little bit too much. I feel like I'm sort of wafting around kind of bit. I'd probably have an individual setting somewhere in the middle, middle to sporty end. Probably at the sporty end actually, because it's not that firm. In fact, you might even want it to get firmer to get the kind of sporty feel out of it. The steering feels like it's got quite a lot lighter. There's sort of room without really moving the car to wiggle around a bit. All sort of, I guess, electronically controlled from that point of view. From a general sort of comfort point of view, it's quite similar, I suppose, to the A3 hatchback. Very expensive car, perhaps for what it is. The RS3 in general. Starts life, you know, the base model is a fairly standard, cheap hatchback. I think if you've gone all out for the RS3 itself, and that's what you're looking for, the ABT engine management, obviously taking the power up with warranty, and that is the important thing. ABT do charge high-end prices, but offer an exceptionally high-end service with that. So you do have all the warranty and protection should anything happen, which is something I think is quite important when you're considering playing around with the engine of such an expensive car. So it's good that they offer that package. So from a customer point of view, you can go for some more interior upgrades, the small sort of touches to the outside, but it makes for a pretty powerful little car. I think if you're the kind of person who wants to buy the RS3, you probably like the idea of getting 430 horsepower and potentially even more power out of it in the not too distant future with what they're working on. And that's probably right up your street. I'm going onto the Autobahn right here, so I'm going to go back into dynamic mode because I want to go as fast as I can. I want to just have some fun. Let's keep it in second gear if it doesn't. Okay, let's go. We have a restricted bit of Autobahn to start us off with this tunnel. Slow down, second gear, come on, there we go. There we go. Unfortunately for me, I found some traffic. But back to the car, probably one of the biggest things to think about right now is it worth the upgrade for the power point of view? And if you're a speed junkie or somebody who loves that kind of thing, I think you're probably not going to have to think twice. You can take your RS3 up to 430 horsepower just with an engine management tune, which is really quite something. That's a lot of power from this kind of car, a lot of power. 430 horsepower. It wasn't that long ago that to get that kind of number, you had to be in a supercar. You had to be in something like insanely fast, and now you can have it in, dare I say it, an Audi A3. Like, this makes no sense at all. It's ludicrously fast, so much power and torque as well. It just sort of like pushes you completely back in, and I guess you're not really expecting it just because of the nature of the car. I'm pretty sure if I had one of these, I would be wanting that power upgrade for sure. It's just how much of a sort of boggle to the mind it is, what performance you can get out of it. Really, really quite something. The RS3 in general is an exceptionally expensive car for what it is. I think that's one of the things, but then you look at the sort of how capable it is and what it offers, and that's where it starts to make a lot more sense. It's just a bit crazy that such a car can be capable of this much and therefore come at a price tag of this much. But I'm enjoying driving it, that's for sure. I think I was expecting it to be perhaps a little bit firmer, the ride, so that's a good thing. But from a power point of view, it's pretty mega. Back at Abt, and it is an absolutely boiling afternoon today. Lovely day for a drive with a few different cars here. So the RS3, or the ABT RS3, there is no question the performance that comes out of this thing is fairly mind-blowing. I'm just looking forward to seeing what numbers they can put now on the upgrades that come from here. It's just such a sort of pocket rocket. This thing that looks like a sort of estate car, what am I talking about? Is capable of bonkers speeds. Top speed is raised with the ABT package from 250 kilometers per hour to 285. But it's the way it gets there. It's so torquey and so quick. And you can tell it's fast. You know, you look at it, you look at the sort of offset, you look at the spacers on the wheels, you know that it's going to be something special if you're a car guy. If you're not a car guy or girl, you're going to look at this thing and just assume it's an A3. And it definitely is not. It is so much more than a little Audi A3. So it's quite a surprise package, and quite a cool little thing. You know, if you're driving something fancy and you want the sort of car that doesn't stand out so much but still offers you that sort of performance and excitement, you're probably going to get it from this, while being able to sort of hide away a bit and other people not realise quite what you're driving. So yeah, there we have it, the ABT RS3. Just a awesome little surprise kind of car. Let's take a look at the inside. I don't actually think I showed you much around that. You've probably seen, or you might have seen my RS3 review I did in depth with the car at the Audi launch. But yeah, the electronic gear lever, your control for the screen in front of you, electronic handbrake, cup holders, air conditioning stuff. The air vents are quite cool, and the dashboard in front of us. Usual kind of controls on here. And I think I talked about it. Let's just start this up actually. But you can put away that screen with that button, and it tucks itself down if you don't want it in front of you. And then you've got your other things for nav, telephone, radio, media. Sorry, I'm not sure if you can quite see that with the light right now. And media stuff, telephone, navigation. and menu button, which takes you to this display where you can then go through all your other different settings and bits and bob. And then here is the Audi Drive Select setting. So if you go into individual and press the bottom right button for set individual, sorry for the light right now, that's where you can set up the engine and gearbox, suspension control, steering, engine sound, and the adaptive cruise control. And all of those, it will remember how you configure when you then put it back into Drive Select the next time. So that's quite cool, just being able to play around and have access to that functionality. Just via this button here, right next to the turning off the auto stop start on the engine, park sensors, traction control, and putting the screen back down. Yeah, so just hearing the crack there, you know, it didn't actually crack as much as I thought it would. Fairly new exhaust system, probably makes a difference, but the car I test drove before was burbling and back crackling left, right and centre at us, which was good fun. The screen folds away automatically. ABT logo on the rearview mirror there. This car even has a sunroof. Yeah, so it was an enjoyable drive in that car. I'm interested to hear what other people think in the comments below on this one about the ABT RS3. So yeah, sorry, I'm waffling on a little bit, but it's been a wonderful afternoon. Lovely weather here in Germany. Great place to visit as part of the X6 tour, driving all around for a couple of weeks in the BMW X6. That was the ABT Audi RS3. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch up with you soon. Cheers. It is my turn to drive. I'm going to be jumping on board the Delta Red 675L.